I'm Lynn De Silva Johnson. I am the founder and managing editor of the Operating System, which is based in Brooklyn, New York. I am a fourth generation Brooklyn native. I am a non-binary queer artist, activist, poet, educator, sort of a rogue anthropologist, an independent academic, and a travel grassroots. When approaching the question, what is the operating system, I think the first important thing to note is something that it says on our website, which is that the operating system is a question, not an answer. I love that phrase because the other words I use to describe it always have to do with expansiveness and possibility and creativity and collaboration and more, rather than the smaller models and labels that we're used to. As far as the operating system could be described as a press, which I know that it often is, the press is something that we have and publishing is something that we do, but it is not who we are. The operating system is an experiment comprised of individuals and artists from a huge variety of disciplines that we are working with to explore the revolutionary possibilities of publishing and archiving as an activist practice in becoming part of the history.
When Lynn said, we're going to do your book, great, where's the manuscript, what does it look like, where are the drawings, where are the lesson plans, where are they? And I was like, what? I just want a book of poems. I want to just be a poet. I just want to do it the way everyone else does it. I had this moment of really, I don't know what happened to me, discarding parts of my identity that have been very important for my whole life. So to be asked to come to the table with my whole self and to value that whole self and to understand that that whole self is going to inspire other people to use their whole selves, which is actually what I teach in the world, is wonderful and quite rare, actually.
What your support today will help us do is to really go full throttle on the 20 books that are slated for publication between now and the very beginning of 2018. 3 of those volumes will be part of our new translation series known as Ronsarium, or our Unsilenced Text series. This series costs a little more and works a little differently than the others because our first text, Ashraf Fayyad's Instructions Within, has a translator, Mona Karim, and we're also giving all proceeds after publishing costs to UK Pen, who's publishing version in Britain.
I think it's obviously hard to put what the operating system is into sort of one soundbite because it really is so many things. It's a press, it's a community, it's an ongoing collaboration. I feel like it's something that's always changing, and by changing I mean something that's always growing, something that's always supporting artists, its own artists, but also supporting community.
We also have tried to go to as many book fairs around the country as we're able, but with a limited budget that's very difficult, and we'd also like to take more staff so that we're able to meet more people while we're there, do more events, and just basically support our authors and our books the best we can.
What I always think of whenever I think about the operating system is possibilities. It's something I keep coming back to whenever I speak to anyone about my chapbook or about any of the other publications or about any of the other projects that Lynn and the operating system do. The word I keep coming back to is possibilities. There's just an openness to what they are trying to accomplish and what they are accomplishing that I think you simply don't see in a lot of other artistic collectives.
As part of our dedication to the archive, we're not only interested in publishing and putting things on paper, but also dealing with digital media, audio, and video. But unfortunately, we don't have the resources to do that yet. Ideally, we'd like to be helping other organizations do this as well, but this requires time, resources, training, and especially equipment. So your funding today will help us buy that equipment and put all of our books in a digital format, as well as begin to collect resources from our creative practitioners as well as from other organizations.
It has become clear that the operating system wants to do as many projects as possible, to create as many books as possible, and to share as many voices and aspects of voices as it can. And it has achieved that wildly by putting out something like 20 books in a year, and in the meantime scheduling the publication of even more and more books.
Something that your funding will help us do is to create better access for the disabled. This will allow us to put our books in different formats that are accessible to a variety of challenged communities, as well as bring ASL translators to readings and other events. Something that's important to mention, in case it hasn't been clear, is that nobody who's worked for the operating system has been paid a dime for any hour of their service. Over the last 5 years, I have usually worked about 40 to 50 hours a week for the operating system, and there's many other people behind the scenes who have lent their hearts and their hours to this organization. I would love to be able to pay them. Paying myself is something that would be great, but I really do believe in this work, and I believe that once these projects are funded, that we will be able to access and apply for grants and win them. We'd like to invite you to come be a part of what we're doing. This is not a closed door. This is not the end of anything. You funding us, we hope, is the beginning of a relationship. We hope that it's a cooperation in which you found a place to live and work with us. Thank you.